So, if any crazy noises, that's what's going on. So, without further ado, all trading involves a substantial risk of loss, past performance, not necessarily indicative of future results. This presentation intended to be informational, educational, fun, entertaining, not a recommendation to be buying or selling any financial instruments, including stocks, options, bonds, forex, futures, cryptos. And if you decide to trade, you might lose money. In the right, Jack?
That is right, Jeffrey.
So, anyway, dun, dun, dun. And James says he hadn't seen any alerts. It kind of depends on what you're subscribed to, James. Kind of depends. And Kimberly here, Jacob here, Alan, James, oh
Is it
my,
snowing?
all the friends.
Is it snowing up in Tennessee?
Not here. It's just rainy, cold. It's like, I think it's 34 and, a light mist, I guess you might call it.
Yeah, probably be low 80s, mid 80s. Gonna fish here in about an hour and a half.
And there's that hammer drill. Gotta love it.
The hammer drill.
Yeah, they're working on the office space right underneath me, and they're hammer drilling on the floor that I'm sitting on. So
Oh wow!
awesome. So here,
Yell down there at him. Knock it off. Let me hear you yell at him. Knock it off one time.
yeah, they're not gonna care. They probably speak no English.
Yeah, ain't that the truth?
He came up here a minute ago. He's like, moving plumbing. Don't use toilet. I
Oh, okay.
was like, all right, buddy.
Yeah, you got to bring a bucket to work sometimes.
Yep. Anyway, yeah, Jacob Sharp out fishing, even though it was I guess we had a couple sunny days, Saturday and Sunday, but yeah, back to doom and gloom out here today.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, that's the
Once,
disclaimer. Be careful trading. You might lose money. And Tesla just kind of sitting. No, I mean, just giving a little back today.
mm-hmm.
I really wanted to see it hold above that level, though.
Uh, I
What's that?
didn't get the 17s put to me naked, so I sold the 18 puts naked this morning for 26.
You're talking about TSLL?
Yeah, it still is a money printer. You look at it, it's sideways since September.
I mean, the beta's 3, but it was almost 4 a couple weeks ago. So, I mean, we're just bleeding off just a little bit.
Yeah, these trades are still coming in 36% or more ROI.
Yeah, I sold some 2150s very aggressively in one of my accounts.
Yeah, I sold 10 of the 17s. I'd love to have the stock at 17. It's just kind of compressing. I think TSL A is going to go up. Oh no, I sold the 17 18 puts. My 17 puts expired today. I sold the 18 puts for 26, 10 of those. I'd still love to get it at 18. I think this thing is going to rip. I did not get the vert at 170 VRT, and they could put expired Friday, so I sold another one today, 177.50. I got 231. Yeah, let's stick with TSLL here a minute.
It might pull back to this 1650 level. It'd be a 618 retrace. I mean, 1650, 1690, somewhere in that ballpark. Could do a small pullback back down to this roadmap line before we bounce again. This did trigger the trade for this target right here. It's just a matter of, do we pull back more or do we just go ahead and go up there? So 25 is the current target right here on the upside.
And that's why I took this 17. Even if I don't pick the bottom, I mean the 18, even if I don't pick the bottom, let's say it goes below 18, I'm cool with it.
Yeah. And it's I mean, it's been a beast of of a play, and the premium's still fat, even though it's not quite as fat as it was. It is bleeding off just a little bit, but it's been sitting here doing nothing since September, early September. I
And
mean,
that's kind of what I love about it because, as you know, I got trapped into having to buy back AVGO calls and taking a loss on those. And that's not happening here. This is not getting away from me. Like, look at this monster. You see this sucker? It was 403 this morning. I mean, it's just a beast. I was saying it's going to 400 like last week, and here it is.
yeah, it danced around up there and then right back up there.
So look at the beta on this. Here's a great analogy, right? TSLL has a higher beta. It's been nothing but pure profit, whether it's naked puts, getting the stock, selling calls, whatever. Whereas, it's higher beta and it's been a better cash producer with less risk in it, as odd as that sounds. But when you have something like this and you're trying to preserve a cost basis, you have to go buy that call back sometimes because you didn't pick a high enough strike. And that's a pain. TSLL has just been a dream income stock.
Well, you're
Is this
welcome, you know.
not trapping you? Thank you, brother.
Yeah. Sometimes I get lucky, knock on wood,
Yeah.
find some blind hog,
Yep.
find an acorn.
Yep. Yep. No, thank you. It's been a greatest cash producer I have without risk of, worrying about having to buy the call back. Yeah, I'm making a lot of money on AVGO by not being called out, but TSL doesn't have the same risk inherently in it, and it has more. If you're just a cash flow guy, TSLL right now, nothing better.
That may be that one.
Yeah. 33, I got the thing put to me. Can you believe it?
Down there, yeah, and then you sold it out, and then look where it is. Like
34. I know. Such a genius.
I told you to sell that upside call.
I know. You did. So a lot of people on here did too. Chris told me a lot of people said, don't sell the stock, sell another call. Yeah, I would have been called out at like 35 anyway if I owned it at 33 because I like to sell the calls low.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that thing's ripping though. It's probably going to 55 more than likely.
Mm-hmm. No, I did not get back into TQQQ yet, but I didn't get put the stock or anything. So
Yeah, this one could come all the way back down in here
and then re-rip.
and then go again. Yeah, I am kind of seeing the potential for a little bit of, a little bit of pullback here. It's and we kind of
Now,
arced it off here. Usually when you see price arc off like that, you get something like that, right in here.
now, yeah, this is really tied to the SPY, right? Do you not see an all-time high coming up on SPY? Santa Claus rally into new all-time high.
Well, this is SPX, which is what SPY is based off of, actually. So this is the cash index right here. If anybody didn't know, this is the actual cash index. And I'm just seeing the potential for this little pullback. We have a big event coming up on Wednesday, and that may be the excuse for the pullback. And then we, rally up. I don't know if we get an all-time high before the end of the year, but it may happen Q1, like after the new year. So we may start out the new year with a new all-time high. But that kind of scares me too, because that's the exact scenario we had back in 2022. Back over here.
Yeah, but we haven't had a crossover of the QQQ crossing over on top of that.
We kind
That
of
would be
came
my
into
alert.
we get look at this same kind of pattern right here. Look at this. See this? Then this mid-month pullback. Then we rallied strongly right up, hung new highs right into the new year.
That's what this could do.
This is like it's like deja vu to me a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look at this. Look at this. We did this big pullback. We did this ramp up. We're kind of stalling out a little bit. If we get another little flush here and then a pop back to all-time highs, that is almost exactly what we
Yep.
did coming into 2022.
An all-time high that doesn't hold.
And then that resulted in some downside action that didn't quit till October.
And when I got in was when that QQQ crossed over the SPY, And then from there, it was just write it down. So, yes, Dennis, I did sell the TSLL 18 strike price puts for this Friday's expiration, 26 cents. And I sold the VRT.
Yeah, you can actually get those 18s for a little juicier right now.
There you go. Yeah, what are
Cool.
they going for? 33. Okay. So there you're going to get a quarter nickel more than me if you want to do it. Like I say, it's might not be the bottom. I'm not trying to pick the bottom. I just want to be out of the money a little bit, get a nice premium. If I get gifted the stock, my cost will be 18 minus 26 cents, and I'll start selling calls. And I really want a little bit of this. You know, I have a tiny position in it, but as the days go by, I'm just thinking that Tesla's going to pop hard, really hard. It's so long overdue. It's such a laggard. Some news is going to come out and push it. It's way overdue. And I want to be long a little TSLL more so than Tesla because this thing is super popular, super price is perfect, and I'm going to get a double bang for my buck on the way up, and I'm not worried about any downside. Tesla's already been beat up enough. I don't really see this thing getting crushed. But it's got the biggest upside bang, and when Tesla really gets rolling, I might even try a debit spread on this.
Yeah, this thing could definitely see some upside here.
Yeah.
And it is a 2x leverage ticker, just full disclosure on this thing. It is a 2x leverage ticker. That means the daily performance, if Tesla does its normal daily move of about 4%, TSLL should do 2x that, about an 8% move. And that's why the beta is so juicy down here.
Yeah, the beta's juicy, but this thing can't hurt you really. It can't get away from you. It just keeps providing income. I love the fact that it's not going from 32 to 12 to 32 to 12. You know,
Yeah,
that
it's
would
not doing
wipe me.
this.
That would kill you, man. Emotionally, I'm just telling you, you can't be in the boat fishing if that's going on and you're not paying attention to it, right? But this, I know, it's almost the opposite of volatility, yet it has that beta. So this is such an anomaly right now, and I'm not going to get off of it until it's gone.
And except for this little diversion right down here, it's basically been hanging between 18 and 22
Mm-hmm.
since back here in September.
And I just been doing exactly right in there. 23 calls I sold, naked puts at 16, which started the redheaded stepchild trade. And now I'm doing it even bigger at 18. So I don't know what you'd call this guy, but yeah. Anyway, this is
Pounded in the dirt, baby. Pounded
gonna
in the dirt.
feed it like another Michael Jackson move. Uh, Yeah, I'm pounding it into the dirt. Actually, I'm not pounding it into the dirt because it's worth more now than when I sold it. So I haven't beaten anything up. Rob just got more. He got 33 for the naked, for the cash secured 18 strike price Tesla puts till next Friday.
And here's one I just added right before I came
Uh-oh.
live.
Uh-oh.
I went after the 46 strike right here. 46. And look at this baby. Yeah, this is my technical pattern right here. This high, this low, this move up. I actually want to see it come across above this, but I just added some of this in a couple of my retirement accounts. This Friday, look at this 46 right here.
Selling puts.
Yep. It actually moved up since I did it because this was going for 70 cents just a few minutes ago.
70?
Yeah, 70 cents. There's 50, 55 right now, 53. I'm jumping around. But I was getting that 70 cents for that just, I don't know, 30 minutes ago. About 11:15.
I'd say the odds are going to be extremely high that this is going to work for you, considering that it's your signature pattern.
Yeah.
You know? No, I mean, it. It's kind of
Yeah,
like it's how it's going to play out. Um,
I want to see it above this to confirm that that's 75% likely to go up to 81. But think about that. If this did a little dip, got me in at 46 this Friday, I could ride that up to 81. I mean,
Mm.
that would be a nice trade right there.
Hmm.
So I started going after this because held support, started being bullish. That's the kind of things I look for. I mean, it reminds me of back here, right back in here. I chased it for a couple weeks before I got put, and then that was my one of my biggest wheel trades of the year right here. Was catching that move from here to here. And then I've just been waiting for it to pull back, and it finally did that right here. Yeah, I had to wait. Like I've been off of it since July. So August, September, October, November, December. I've been waiting 5 months for this to set back up again. It's the
Long
patience
time.
and discipline.
Keep it on your watch list.
It's the
This,
PDA. Patience, discipline, and accountability.
that's it. And passion and
So
persistence.
I mean, there's lots of things that go with it, but I think those are the three keys you got to have if you want to be successful with this. And you know, patience, discipline, and accountability for your trades. If you can't own those things, then you're probably not cut out for trading.
You can always learn them. You can always develop them.
Well, yeah,
Um,
I mean, it's one of those things, you know. If you just can't, for whatever reason, can't muster, you know, having some patience, discipline, and being accountable for your trades, you're gonna have a really hard time at this.
mhm. Some of this rockety lab type stuff is crazy. Take a look at FLY.
Yeah,
It's
I
one
mean
I
that.
want to trade. Um,
I don't know where
uh,
the bottom is on this, but that's
I don't either. I don't either. Um, yeah, this is going to be something I'm going to want to trade here going forward. I got to let the story come out. It's new. Same situation with Circle. Uh, Fig was another one.
a circle. Maybe established a
Yeah,
bottom
it
here.
may have.
Maybe.
It may have. I'm still long the stock. I still want to see the beta get higher. See, these are all kind of doing the same thing. Is right this when these three IPOs came, they all got run up on the opening day, just pure speculation, and it wasn't much volume, and it faded, and it tried to have another rally, and then it really went down. So we'll see if the crowd backs off and this thing can just drift higher unnoticed. Fig's
Yeah.
not on my list anymore, but Fly, I'm gonna let the story come out on Fly and Circle.
Yeah, we saw a lot of like, and they've had green earnings here, so that means they at least beat a little bit. And they appear to be making some money, although standardized they lost a bunch of money. But that's always funny to me, where the standardized, if we do it according to the way everybody else does accounting, we lost a bunch of money. But the way we want to report it, we made money.
Isn't that funny?
I,
Yeah,
I just I find humor in that all the time.
I do
And
too.
it's back to what I always say about, like, you can fake earnings. Like, you can make up the numbers and make earnings show up, but you can't fake sales. Like, if you don't have the sales at all, you can't just like make up sales. You either did sales or you didn't do sales.
Yeah, that's true. And when you book them, that's a whole nother thing, right?
Yep.
And all the accounting, though, to me is shenanigans. I gave up on it entirely years ago, and I doubled down on my giving up on it when I saw Krispy Kreme. The last time I read a quarterly report, they had a synthetic lease in there, and I just thought, this company at that time of their life was doing anything to keep the thing going. Yeah, just forget about it. One time, people were lining up around the block to get these things, but it's such a fad uh, that never can last. Yeah, let's buy the stock because there's a big line outside the store. It's stupid. Anyway, I gave up on accounting when I read that generally counting acceptable accounting principles suck according to Buffett. Yeah, they do. He hates EBITDA and all that other stuff. But it's how accountants account.
That's how you make the numbers look good.
Yeah,
That's
you
how
got to
how
make the numbers.
Google's all of a sudden making $6 billion more off of their AI data center stuff, just by
Eh, We're gonna
tweaking
have
the
we're gonna
the
have to
numbers.
see a lot of creative accounting going forward. A lot of creative accounting going to be going on in the next couple 8 quarters.
But hey, if you bought D Nut down here at
Get the
2, you'd be up almost double.
synthetic lease. Yeah, forget that thing. Hey, so we had one of the biggest, well, I call it legal stock market manipulations in the world. Every time the S&P 500 rebalances, they call it rebalancing, but they kick out some stocks which are guaranteed to go down because every hedge fund that tracks the S&P 500 is going to sell the stock that gets kicked out of the S&P 500, and the ones that are added are going to go up because every fund has to buy it. Um, and it's ironic that it really is 100% legal market manipulation in order to keep the S&P 500 relevant. So if a company's doing bad, they just kick it out. And if another company's doing great, they just add it in. That's simple. But the SPY itself, it's nowhere near the same as it was even 10 years ago. And it's constantly manipulated to go up. And just keep that in the back of your mind. How about that? Legal manipulation.
Yep. I mean, it's just kind of wild, really. Um, so WBA, I guess, is been removed, effective, because of the wall, whatever buyout or whatever. HES got removed. If I get that right, HES, the right one here. Nope. I don't even see the right one. Oh, that was a buyout too. Hess got bought out. DFS, was kicked out because it got bought out by Capital One, and we're seeing, the LKQ. I guess is one of the newer ones that's being removed, probably for bad performance.
Yeah, you get punished.
Mohawk Industries.
That's your S&P 500 right there, mercilessly kicking out the weaker dogs and adding the stronger dogs to the pack,
Yeah.
just to keep the S&P 500 going up. And it's
It
funny
may-
when people say, "Oh, the S&P goes up average this much every year." Yeah, well, it could be whatever because these guys can change whatever stock they want in there.
yeah. But I mean, if you just roll with something like SPY, you get
You
get
get
all
it.
this stuff.
Yeah, you get the you get the legal manipulation in order to keep the stock price moving higher. So people think the market. Look at the SPY; it's gone up every year for the last 20 years. It's not even the same thing, right? It's not even the same basket of stocks.
Yeah, what it
That's
was
good
back.
PR. That is great PR, man. You would think that the industrial stocks in America, 500 of them, has just done nothing but go up for 10 years, 12 years. No, not the case, my friend. A whole new batch all the time.
Yeah, this
Like
right
you,
here was though was like 14 years of not doing jack diddly. I mean,
yeah,
we get those
I
occasionally.
remember that well.
I mean, well, I guess it was this one right here, like this one. Get this big sideways thing going sideways from 2000 all the way into 2013. We basically did nothing for a big long time. You get those
Well,
littler ones all the time, so
no bubbles, no excitement. There wasn't anything going on back then like there is now. No good wars going on. Nothing. Boring,
but there you go.
but cash flowing.
This big pullback. What's crazy to me? This big pullback right here, COVID, and this one we got this year. Even though it looks smaller because of my log scale, this one was bigger than that one. But it looks smaller because we're higher up.
What a crazy reason to have a correction. Uh, Tariffs.
Yeah, see, there you go. Basically this pullback, COVID, this pullback, just, you know, I guess the sugar high hopium off of COVID. And then this one right here, almost all the same size.
It's good that we had that one this year because otherwise we'd really be running on fumes. If you just take a straight line and go up without that V in there, right? like from like right there or there, and then don't take that one in. Just go from the
Yeah.
top to the top. Without that correction we had this year, we'd be in horrible technical shape. So people talk about a crash coming or correction. We had it. We just
Yeah.
had it.
Yeah. That was bigger than a lot of people think it
Yeah.
was.
Yeah.
Well, we have room to the upside, but then if we get up there again, it's probably gonna
Test a
come
lower,
back.
a move lower, but higher than that. Yeah. And what I love about that tariff day was a couple things. One, they threw the baby out with the bathwater. They were selling literally program selling kicked in, and everybody was selling everything, even if it had nothing to do with the tariff. It was ironic, and I saw that as an amazing buying opportunity. And the other thing that I love about it is it just proves for the millionth time how wrong analysts are, whether they're stock analysts or economic analysts, because we're not in a depression. The market's not down 30%. All that crap that those guys tried to predict fear wise, none of it happened. They were 100% dead wrong. And I love that because they're always wrong and nobody should ever listen to them. And the economy is not the stock market.
And
This
this
thing
is
goes higher, man. It doesn't care about a shutdown, it doesn't care about a rate hike, it doesn't care about a war, it doesn't care about a tariff.
yeah, just sucking people in.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the things, you know, back in the 70s, there's a couple dynamics that have played out here that didn't used to happen. So like back here in the 70s, we didn't have, especially the early 70s, we didn't have 401ks.
And what's significant about that is now every 2 weeks or every month, a ton of money gets put into the stock market via 401ks, and they just buy the same stocks. So you have that force.
You've got this program selling that occurs essentially twice a month, every 2 weeks or so. It depends on how your employer pays you, whether it's every 2 weeks or every week or every, twice a month or, yeah, but, essentially twice a month, roughly, we get these two big dumps of money into the market, and it creates this kind of put, if you will, retirement account put, where that billions of dollars flow in. And then all these funds that track S&P 500 or track NASDAQ or track, Russell or track, all the different, you go look at your 401k and all the basket of stuff, they're dumping that money in.
Buying
And
the same stocks.
so it creates this, hand, if you will, that constantly pushes everything up because there's always money coming in. And then this year, this year coming up, we're getting that new Trump retirement account thing. Excuse the, I think they finished there. I don't know, beating on the floor underneath me. And those new Trump accounts. And what's interesting is they're going to provide the ability for employers to contribute $2,500 yearly to your kids' accounts, and for you to donate $5,000 a year to your kids' account. And it's going to start with $1,000. I mean, and that's all going to be more money pumping into stuff like the S&P.
I got to say, though, I don't like politicians. I don't like politics. I do vote, I do follow it. But that giving a kid $1,000, that has to be one of the best political moves I've ever seen, next to not letting any child go hungry.
Yeah.
Smart, so smart to just, and, you got to do it, man. You got to put the thousand in, even if you're a parent or a grandparent, even if you got to borrow the thousand to put it into the kid's account, because that's the one thing. My new grandson, he's 2 months old, right? One thing he has is time, and that's all he has. You give him $1,000 now, put it in AVGO and a couple other things. Just imagine when he's 25,
Yeah.
because
I mean,
he wouldn't go through all the, like, I'm really all about it now, and my wife is like, honey, I can't believe how obsessed you are with setting these kids up, and it's just that I had it so bad. I was so broke, I couldn't even pay attention, and I don't want them to go through the hassle of life that is, right? If they can avoid it and it doesn't really cost you anything, man, you got to do it for the kid.
Hold on, I was going to do something here just to demonstrate the power of this right
Uh,
here.
you can deduct it, Tony, if it's in a uniform gift to minors account at UGMA account. But I don't know about this new thing. If you can deduct it, even if you can't, if you can, what do you save? $37 or whatever, $100, 300 bucks. Even if it's not an UGMA, Patrick says not all states allow Uniform Gift to Minors Act accounts, but still, even if it's a straight up, or actually, you don't even have to give them the 1,000. Just open the account or help the mom or dad open the account and fund the account. Right? You don't need to hand the kid 1,000. Put 1,000 in there and buy whatever stocks you want. Good thing, just do it. Yeah.
Me being nerdy over here.
No,
And look at this. So you say nothing but time.
that's what
Year
he's
one,
got.
year two, and by the time you're 18, let's just say, you just did a market account with 8% a year. Potentially that's $4,000. If you didn't touch it till maybe you were, I don't know, in your 30s, look at this. That $1,000 turns into $17,000.
Mm-hmm.
If you were able to not touch that in your entire life, now we're talking, maybe come down to retirement age, like 65, right?
That 1,000 turns into a mill.
Turns into 150 at normal market rate right there. Normal 8%.
Well, let's put a more
Now,
Jack
I,
Carter rate on it.
I was just gonna say, like, what if you went a little more active management,
There you go.
like we were talking about, 40%? Just start with $1,000. This is why I always say, people should get started with this
Yeah.
40%. I mean, it's not even that hard to do.
And you can do it. That's the other thing. You did not set a goal that is outside the realm of possibility. You set a goal that's high with 40, Jeffrey, but you're doing it. It's
Man,
totally doable. So reach.
but look at that ridiculous number
Mm.
right there. And a lifetime of doing this.
But
People
see,
come,
I'm more concerned about that 25 to 35 age because that's when his expenses in life are really going to be a bitch between
look
college, buying a car, uh,
at
having a
that. At
baby.
25, you could be $500,000.
Yeah. And maybe between 25 and 35, you're going to have a baby,
And if you
buy an
could keep it
expensive
rolling,
car, buy a house. Yeah. But you got it. And you don't even have to use it. Like, teach the kids, use that to collateralize a loan or whatever. Just don't give it up. Don't ever sell it. Just have it and learn to have it. And the other thing is,
oh, that's
if you
half
give a
million at
kid that
19.
money, yeah,
You're
you
you're
give him that money
million.
now.
You're a million at 21. You're
I wouldn't do
500
it.
million. That's 500 million, excuse me, or 5 million. 5 million at 25 right there. Just
Don't
starting
tell
with a
them about
thousand.
it though. There's no way a 25-year-old can handle a million.
That's 5 million.
Hell,
4.4 million.
hell, I couldn't handle $100, let alone be responsible with 100, let alone 5 million.
And
But
this is
that
why I
there it
say you
goes.
just got to get started. Even if you just get started with $1,000, people all the time tell us, oh, I don't have enough money to get started doing what you guys are doing.
Yeah,
Just making $400 your first year is a big thing.
you can do it. I tell my son that just had the baby, the other thing on top of that is just don't put the grand down and walk away. Put $10 a month in his account, whatever. Yeah, then you take that, you got to start compounding, adding to it every month. $10, $5, a buck, just something, $100. Just don't
Matters
not.
matters more down here than it does
Yeah,
down
yeah.
here.
Yeah, you give him $10 now. I mean, anything, and he can afford that. My son's he's already making too much money, but both of them are. I'll just say, straight up tell them, you make it too much. You better put that away. I go over their finances with them, whether they want to or not.
Yeah, I'm sure they don't think it's too much though.
They don't think it's too much. You know, the one guy he in New York City, there's no too much. You get a 10% raise, it's nothing. You know, he's right down there in Williamsburg, paying more for rent than I would ever even allow him to pay. It's
Yeah, there you
insane.
go.
$6,500 for a crappy old
See
apartment.
that's the potential. Like you start with $1,000. If you can possibly manage 40% a year, you could be a millionaire at 21.
Don't tell him.
You could be a 100 millionaire. You have $100 million by the time you're 35.
Yeah. Look at that. The power of compounding.
$1 billion by the time you're in your 40s.
Fascinating.
You could be a trillionaire at 60s.
Amazing.
People are like, oh, that doesn't work. What about the fear? What about the risk? What about that? That's just going after a 40% a year, which
Tune
we've
it
shown
out.
over and over and over. You can sell calls and puts
Yeah. And
and do 40%.
you don't, and this is where people flip out. They think, oh man, that would be so hard to pick a portfolio of stocks that goes up 40% a year. Yeah, no kidding. That would be hard. But we're showing you here that you could do this with stocks that don't go up at all and you could still make 40%. Right? Look at TSLL. It ain't going anywhere. We're making money off that. And
Look at
look
this
at
thing.
Jeffrey. Yeah. Proof. You don't need the stock to go up 40% for you to make 40%. It could go up nothing. But you got to stay on top of it, right?
If you're brand new here, I did not start with this is not a $100,000 account, or it wasn't. I mean, I've put some money in, take some money out. I think right now, if you looked at the amount of money, the amount of cash I've put in, it's right around $89,000 when you take the debits and the credits and whatever. And I've made this much money on it. And this wasn't even all year. This actually started in April. So we've got May, June, July, August, September, October, November,
You're going to do
7 months. And I've been able to make this much money.
You're
7
going to do
months.
it. You're going to do it. John has a really good point. He says if you teach kids to put it in early, mentally, it won't affect them when they're in their 20s. When they start to do it, just becomes secondhand nature. Yeah, John, that is so true. You don't want to all of a sudden surprise a kid with a bunch of money because he'll blow it. But if you teach them young and they stay with it, it'll become second nature. That's a great point.
Yeah, if you teach people how to do this, it's incredible. And we just sit here and do this over and over and over. And you wonder, what stocks did you do? What are you going after? They're right
No,
here. Microchip.
boy,
Last week I did microchip. You kind of like laughed at me a little bit, poked fun at me on it. I booked the money right
yeah.
there.
Now I do poke fun at you, but I got nothing but love for you, and you pick out weird stuff. Now, let's. Moisey asks a great question. Moisey asks, if we're not picking stocks that are going up 40% a year, how are you getting a 40% return? That's a great question, Moisey.
Yeah,
So
absolutely
let's
great.
explain it to him. Yeah.
Let's
Wow.
grab
That's
the
a great
chart,
question.
pop this back up.
How do we get it, Moisey? How do we get 40% a year?
Watch this. TSLL right here. Hadn't budged since September.
Didn't
Certainly
go
not
up
up.
40%.
Certainly not up 40% this year. It's actually down this year. But excuse the hammer drill underneath me here. We come in here. Jack is going after this week's 18 strike. And right now going for 35.
That's more than
This is the secret to that everybody doesn't
the secret.
everybody looks at it and they're like, I can't sell a put. What if I got put the stock? Or oh
Ooh,
gosh,
yeah, that'd be
but
terrible.
there's
Oh,
so many horrible things that could go wrong here.
oh no, don't
You
sell a
sell this
put.
right now, you're gonna get like, let's just go 35 because that was what was there a second ago. 35. You've got to put up $1,800 without margin or anything like that to be able to do that.
That means you're willing to buy the put at 18 if you get the stock put to you, and you get paid 36 cents to take that risk.
So
So
that's almost 2% return from today until Friday. Now, we divide that out by 4 because that's 4 days. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 4 days. That's 0.4% per day. And then we annualize that. If we're flying out a whole year, this would be the same thing. We're going to put that money to work. This will be 177% return
Mm, mm,
over a
mm.
year.
That's how it's done, Moisey, right there. But a lower target. I don't need to get to 177% a year. I just want that 40.
So you're bringing in 177% annualized right there this week. Do it again next week, 177%.
Regardless of where the stock goes, up, down,
You just keep
sideways.
you keep compounding that 35 cents, 35 cents. If you so here's what happens. You do this every week all year long. Let's just say you average 35 bucks. That's 1,820 bucks right there. And we used 18 bucks to get it. Now, why is it not that much? Because we're skipping a few days. Like we were only doing 4 days a week. So we were out of the market 3 days a week. That's why it's not 170 right here. That's 100% return right there. Just going after 35 bucks every week. No stress, no 100% return. That's how this works.
Yep. So,
So,
Kathy, that is a sell to open TSLL put, 18 strike price for the 12th expiration.
and Jack and I, we call the show Market Masters. We are masters at creating income out of the market.
Cash flow.
Cash flow is income.
So,
So when we get put a stock, we don't look at it as bad. We look at it as getting put an asset that we can cash flow into more potential profits on the upside.
amen, brother. So, John says, I'm new here. Thank you for being here, John. We love new people. Got a text message to show up. He says, I signed up, but I'm wondering, what is your team mission? Are you looking for daily scalps, long
Mm,
term action, options, ideas? What are we looking for here, Jeffrey?
Income,
That's it.
money,
That's it.
income, consistent income
Cash flow is what we do here. And how do we do it?
through a variety of strategies that produce consistent, repeatable gains. And I demonstrate that right here with this account. Like a
And
lot
the
of people,
overall strategy would be called,
well, so we have one main strategy we talk about called the wheel.
there you go,
A lot of
John.
people
That's
call it the
what we
wheel.
do, the wheel.
And then we add on extra credit spreads, debit spreads, other income opportunities to boost that money. So our core strategy that we talk about every week is doing the wheel. Wheel starts out by number one, you have to want to own a stock. You have to find one you want to own and you sell a put.
Sell to open. For example, TSLL.
Now, if you don't like Tesla, you don't like TSLL, you don't like the risk, there's plenty of other things out in the sea. I did Rocket Lab today. Um,
IBIT, Hood, all
let
kind
me
of stuff.
let me grab the list here. I've actually got this all written out in a step-by-step process. It's kind of like a choose your own adventure type thing.
I love that. Choose your own adventure.
Well, I mean, we call it the wheel, but there's a lot of circular things that happen in the wheel. And it all starts with finding a stock that you want to own. Like that's number one. Because if you don't want to own that stock, you should never get started in this process. All right. The wheel's quite easy. There's lots, and down the bottom, people have lots of opinions on the right way to do this. I've been showing it how I do it my way with a group of people, and I'd show it right here on the show. Jack and I have a little bit different opinion on some of the nuance in here. But number one is universal. You have to sell a put on a stock that you want to own shares on. And that right there, we were talking about the TSLL, 35 cents with an $1,800 potential
Let's talk about the
cash outlay.
stock here a little bit for a minute. For me, that stock has to have a beta over one. That means the stock is going to be more volatile than the broad market with a beta over one. And that means I'm going to get a better pricing for the options that I sell. The other thing is I'd like it to be in an uptrend.
How do you find the beta over one? You can come on TradingView. When you pull up a stock, it has the beta right here in this little panel. Sometimes you don't see it. You have to expand it, but it's right here. I don't have any premium subscription or anything like that
Yeah.
to see this data.
Even Yahoo Finance will show you the beta, but that's
So
important.
you can come in here and find them. Now, I don't always go after ones over one. myself. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Like Gap here, I've made thousands of dollars this year
Fortune.
trading Gap, and it's just sitting right at 1. It dipped below 1 and now it's back over 1. It's not that crazy. Dollar Tree, I'm getting close to booking a $6,000 gain on something that has a beta at 0.5.
So this is how you get a little bit of difference in approach, right? He's able to squeak out this money on anything. He can find a needle in a haystack. I can't. I got to have certain things more visual for me.
But this hit my target right here, and it's just kind of sitting here. I have a put sold out to the third Friday in December at 125. If I keep that money, great. I'm going to go higher because I have more upside expectation here. I combine my signature technical pattern. It's a swing trade on a daily time frame, but I have day trade. It works the same on every time frame. I have the signature pattern. It's an orange line. I call it the market roadmap line. Price tends to bounce off of it. Get this move up. We get this move. That's a bounce. You see it struggled right here and then ripped right up to the target. 75% likely that it goes from here to here.
So that's how we like our stocks. That's our stock criteria. So number one, let's go back to your little.
Yeah, pull it back over. So number one,
Yeah.
you have to want to own the shares.
And you can do it any way you want. You can have a signature pattern like he has. You can have just trend. You can have a beta or no beta. Uh, just customize it. That's why it's choose your own adventure. You don't need 100 shares to start, DR. You just need cash, which is a beautiful thing because we're going to just start off by selling a cash secured put. So you would not need to own any stock. If you did this on TSLL at 18, you'd need $1,800 to start.
Yeah,
All right.
so the example we've been talking about, you make 35 for 4 days a hold with 1,800 bucks. That's not hard, and that can get you, if you just did that every week, that gets you 100%. If you could keep that money going every day of the year, that'd be 177%.
Strong. Now, what if I don't get the stock put to me?
Now,
What happens?
that's step 1 is we sell that put. Now, step 2, let it rock along. Say we're on Friday, TSLL. If it's above 18, then that put you sold is probably going to be worthless.
But we get to keep the 36 bucks.
Yeah, 35, 36, whatever you sold it for, you get to keep that money.
So then what do you
And
do?
and you come back and go back to number 1. And that's why
Yeah.
you could do that every week, getting that 35 bucks every week. If you never got put the stock, just keep it going. And that's a wheel. Like that's a circular thing right there.
Every Friday. It depends. It could be 4 days out, whatever.
Some days you can close it early. Some days TSLL might spike and might go up $3 and your 35 is all of a sudden down to 3 and you got like 90% of the money.
Buy it back, sell it again another week out.
Yeah, you can buy it back. You could go, or you could even go, sometimes you can go the same week twice at a little bit higher strike.
Yep.
So there's
Now,
lots of ways you can do it.
Now, if the stock's out of the money, we're going to keep the 36 bucks and move on. What if
Now,
it's lower than 18?
now suppose it's not out of the money. Then what if it's lower than 18?
Mm.
We can't close the put for profit,
Mm-mm.
but we can take assignment, which is buying the shares at the strike price. So your 1,800 bucks comes into play here.
But what's my cost if I got 36?
Minus 36.
Oh,
So now you're at 17.64.
per share.
Yeah, it's 17 bucks and 64 cents per share.
So if it's over that, I'm still at a profit, even if I had the stock put to me.
Yeah,
So if even it's at 18, I'm still profitable.
so if this thing closed at 17.99 and put you those shares, your cost 17.64, you could turn around and sell them. Step 3A, turn around and sell them at anything higher than 1764, if you
But what
sold them
if I
higher than
wanted to cash flow
18,
it? What if I wanted to keep it at 1764 and start to turn it into an asset to cash flow? What would I do?
yeah. So, well, step 3A is you could go ahead and sell them and return to step 1 if that's what you wanted to do. But step 3B, you can sell a call above your cost basis. Anything above 1764. So 18, 1850, 19, 1950, 20, 21, 2050, 21, we have a whole slew of upside potential. We could sell calls up
Ooh,
here,
look at that.
and we could do this weekly.
So no matter what happens, you're saying whether I get the stock put to me or not, I still can do cash flow the next week.
Right. Even if you got put 18, let's just say, this is 18 right now. You could come in here and get $1 just for going right at 18. So
Very
that's
nice.
more than the 35 that you got originally. So that ups your potential. Now, what if it drops more? What if we're down to 11?
Hmm.
Right? What if we're seriously in the money?
Uh-oh.
Right? We got put at 17, but we're down to 11.
Hmm.
That sounds pretty rough.
Should I be worried?
What can we do?
I don't know. Is it over for me?
So let's say this is 11 right now, right? Right here at the orange line, let's just pretend it's 11. So 12, 13, 14. It's not looking too good. 15, 16, 17. We're down to 11 cents. 18 down to 8 cents. Well, you can still sell that and make $8. Lower your cost basis. Why don't you go like down at 16, 15? Anytime you sell a call, you are making a commitment to selling your shares at the strike price.
At any time he wants them.
And anytime. And it can be out of the money and somebody can call you. It doesn't make any sense, but it has happened to me over the 20 something years I've been doing this trade. I have had that happen. Somebody called it out, even though it didn't make any sense. They could have just gone to the market and bought it cheaper, but no, they called me out. Why? I don't know. They needed the shares for something. Short squeeze, whatever it might have been.
Now, John and Moisey, is this starting to make sense how we're shooting for 40% without the stock going up?
Now, another thing you can do, if you don't like the premium here, the following week out, you can fly out another month. Now, all of a sudden, you've got, 11 here, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Well, now you got like 50 cents, 60 cents just for waiting a little bit longer.
So many choices, and none of them involve losing money. All cash flow.
Now, step 4A, after we've sold that call, you can let the call expire worthless. If price doesn't go higher, if we're down 11, you sold the 18, we only go up to like 15, or maybe it drops down to 10, doesn't go your way, you can buy back that call for profit, or you can let it expire worthless. You just hunt for another call to sell. You just wheel it right here. You don't have to go all the way back to the beginning. These ones that repeat to the step 1, that's wheels, all sorts of wheels. They call it the wheel because it's very circular. You're doing the same thing over and over. A lot of people don't have patience for this.
Because
And
it's
step
not
4,
glamorous. It's not like buying a call for $50 and having it go to 5,000.
now step
Too
4B,
boring.
right here, like I've done on Dollar Tree, I'm kind of hoping that it closes above 125 on the 19th and I get called away. I'm going to book like a little north of $6,000
Mm-hmm.
on 200
Perfect.
shares.
Perfect for Christmas shopping.
Now, people have lots of opinions on the right way to do this. Jack and I have a little bit different opinions, but we both agree the wrong way to do it is to stick your head in the sand
That's
at
the
any of
only
these
way to
steps.
ruin it. That's how you ruin it.
Or when you get put the stock and you're upset about it and you're down and you sell the shares and you book the loss, you did it wrong.
It's all
You don't,
about cash flow, not about stock price.
once you have the stock, it's now an asset that you can turn around, cash generating machine. And there's lots of caveats. Like I got into CMG, and ES is trying to confirm a downtrend here. I thought this was the bottom. Coming in earnings, I sold a 49 put at 49. Look where we are right now. Like that's a problem, right? There's no premium at 49. Not even out of ways. And we come over here and look, CMG, even if we came out here, up here at 49, there is nothing. Nobody hardly playing. We got 2,000 contracts open, but there's no premium to sell here. Out in January, out in February, and maybe a little bit. But there's, this cash flow pretty rough right here. You'd have to go out like 100 days to get much premium at all above my
Or,
level.
or you could go lower, but you'd have
No,
to be at a risk of you'd have to buy that call back if you didn't want to get called out there.
but what I did, I rolled in and sold because I didn't go max position in the beginning. Like I already had this plan that maybe it doesn't go my way. So a way to fix it was I actually sold down here in the 30s. I did this back, I've got this 31 sold in this account right here, 31. And I'm actually generating more premium. I might have to buy more shares, but that's also going to pull my cost basis down from 49 down to about 40 if I get put these right here. Now, I sold these a few weeks ago for more money, and it's bringing my cost basis down. So I'm still generating cash flow. I am using a little bit more money. And if I get put, I can sell those. I have to keep track of the accounting, but I can sell a call against this at 31 in these low numbers. If I get called out, then I'm back at 49 cost basis with the rest of the shares, working it out. But whatever I made on this offsets the cost on the whole trade. And it's just an accounting thing. Like you got to keep track of how much money you've got at work, how much you're making. You keep cash flowing it. You can do it in Webull. I do it in Webull. You can do it in Robinhood. You can do it in this is just a normal trade. And
Nothing tricky about it at all.
there's no special
Everybody can-
tricks. People will be like, why didn't anybody tell me about this? And it's because it's boring. This is not the
It
kind of
is.
stuff that sells memberships. This is not
No.
the kind of stuff that people want to do.
It's not exciting at all. We're not picking stocks that go up 40%, but we're making 40%. And I got to tell you, as a stock picker, I got a couple portfolios. It's hard to get 40% a year picking stocks that are going to go up that much. So, Moisey, you can do it on Webull. This is not condors. This is not spreads. This is two things, simple cash secured puts below the market price and covered calls above the market price. That's it. Cash secured puts and cash secured puts and covered calls. That's it.
This is how Buffett got started in a lot of his positions. He comes in here, he works a special deal in the market. He's like, all right, if Coca-Cola drops down to 65, I'm willing to buy 100,000 shares.
He started when Coke was, 35?
Yeah,
He got
something like that.
heavy into it at 30.
But this is the kind of deal he would do. He was like, I'm willing to buy 100,000 shares, or maybe even 1,000,000 shares down here at 65. And I'll be good for that for 6 months. And if I do that, I want to get paid like $10,000, right? And he'll just sit on it. And if it comes along here, it's not at 65, made the 10,000, and we do it again for 6 months. And then if it is down here, he goes ahead and buys it, and then he sells a call against it and lowers the cost basis. I'm willing to sell my shares for 70 if it's above 70 in 6 months, and I want to get paid $10,000. And they do that in the background over and over and over. And his cost right
Nonstop,
now is like
nonstop.
ridiculously low.
Yeah, $3, I think, something like that. Patrick asked about tracking. You can Google wheel tracking websites. There's one I found that was free, options wheelstrategy.ai or something like that. But we both use one from Rockwell. It's about 2 grand. There's a lot of free ones out there to track. Depends on how big you're doing it. If you're doing it on a small basis, a free one's good. That options wheel.ai, that was pretty good. But we use the PXO.
Yeah, I use this thing right here called PowerX Optimizer by
Yeah.
Rockwell Trading. It's not something from our company. It's, it is something from another broker, or I mean, another education provider. And it just keeps track of it right here. It's one of the most
Mhm.
efficient tools. And one of the reasons I like it so much is like iBit here. If I want to know where I am on the position, where I can sell calls, where I can sell puts, it helps you do it graphically.
It picks out
And
the 40%, the strike you need to make your goal. That's why I love it too. He turned me on to this. So it's just covered calls and cash secured puts. Moisey.
And once you set up your parameters in here, it shows you here's where you can sell a put for 37% ROI. Here's where you can sell a call for 38% ROI. And it's got it drawn right on
And
the
that
chart.
that that lower box on the right also shows like a scroll
Yeah, this
yeah,
box down
yeah.
here.
Yeah, down there. That's what I use, that down there. So that's 42%, 53%. You see that, Moisey, everybody? You can just pick which strike you want and it tells you what your ROI is. So if you do this every week, like today for Friday's expiration, you pick anything in the 40s, then maybe we want to roll them on Friday. You buy it back, you sell one for 29 cents, you buy it back for a penny on Friday, you'd sell it out for next Friday again for maybe 29 or 30 cents. And that's it. Covered calls, cash secured puts. Moisey, that's going to get you paid, baby. That's where the money resides right there.
And see, like TSLL, you come in here, you can
Same
actually do a
thing.
1650,
Yeah.
44%
Now,
right
I
there.
did
You
the
can,
18. What's the 18 say it's paying?
well, this is
Ooh.
out next Friday, not this Friday, but 18 paying
Oh,
148% next Friday.
no, that is this Friday.
The 12th, yeah. Well, I guess that is this Friday. 12th, 148%. So,
Mm.
right in there, 170, 100, we were calculating 170. They use a different number of days, I think, if you look at their calculator.
So that's it. The two, covered calls have made more people more money than all other option strategies combined. And that's because it's the oldest, it's the easiest. You don't need level 3 to do it. And it's safer than actually owning a stock, according to the CBOE. Greatest cash producing trade ever, covered call. Second one's got to be cash secured put by far. A lot of times you do this on stocks that are trending up, you never get the stock put to you. Or that could be bad too. But those two, that's all you need right there. Covered calls, secured puts. And if you apply them to the right stocks, you can get the results Jeffrey's getting.
And we like this software. How do you do this manually? You got to do it all by the numbers, like we were doing with the calculator. That's how you do it manually. Like, what
Yes.
if you can't buy a software that does it for you? You got to do it manually.
For a guy that
Coach.
flunked out of ninth grade math, I like this better. You only need level 1 with this.
Yeah, you got to have the ability to sell covered calls, which is basically, and cash secure puts, which is basically level 1 options at any
Because
broker.
the
It's
reason
just,
that is because there's no real risk for the broker or for you if you're selling a naked put on TSLL at 18 and you got $1,800 in your account. There's no risk to the broker. There's no risk to you. You got the money to pay for it. So the level you need is low.
it's actually covered calls is considered by this book right here the safest way to trade, which is this is the standard characteristics and risk of standardized options by the SEC and the CBOE right here. Um, this is a nerdy little book. Every broker used to send this to you. Now it's one of those check boxes you check that you read that,
Yeah.
whether
Yeah.
you checked it or not. You know, Jack.
I've been checking that box, for 40 years. I ain't never read shit out of that book.
I've
I
probably read
read
it
no
cover to
book.
cover. So
You read cover. You read that to the kids when you're little, right?
Put everybody to sleep.
Oh, dude, you're killing me. So that's it. That's what we do. Any questions? Pretty simple. Pretty simple.
Yeah.
Nothing complex.
And we just spent the whole entire thing just talking about, what it
Yeah.
is we do right there.
Yeah.
So
Now you keep showing up, Moisey. You guys, you're going to get some trades. We're going to give you free trades along the way too.
now is any ticker good for this? No, there's some caveats. You got to have stuff, we like ones that have high beta. It's not necessarily a requirement for me, but I like the ones with high beta. That means you're going to get paid more. Um, this Rocket Lab, I like to find my technical pattern. When it fires off, which is a close above the 618 right here, it's 75% likely to go on up here. 75% of the time we'll make that move. Now, if you got put right in here and you wrote it up here, that can be big money. That's exactly what Dollar Tree did. I played it in here and got put. I actually didn't get put until right down here. I played 100 right here before earnings, this earnings back in September. I sold 100 put all the way down here. We were up here, but it gapped down. And then I was able to roll and roll and roll. And I collected about $4 more premium, $4 or $5 more premium in the rolls before I got put. And now my cost basis is down around 95. And I have a 125 strike call sold against that.
Wow.
That's
Turns into big
$35.
money. Turns into big money.
That's $35 a share, basically. Times 200 shares.
7 pounds.
That's gonna be, upwards of $7,000
It's good
when it's all
Scotch
said and
money.
done.
Good Scotch money right there. How about a replay link? Anybody got a replay link? I know
I
a lot of
don't
these
know that the
guys.
team is doing any replays for us right now, Jack.
Oh man, I'm gonna have to make some calls.
I don't know who was supposed to be doing that. I think they let go somebody that was doing it, and nobody's picked
We'll
up the
get it.
slack on
We'll
that.
get it back up. We'll get it back up. We got to show you the replay. A lot of these people here today want to replay.
I don't know that it exists right now. But here's the link we used to have. I'll throw it in the chat. Here's the link we used to have, and I don't know. So Jack and I are kind of treated like the redheaded stepchild over here.
JT is on the naughty list. Jacob says.
Hey, I don't know. Maybe I've upset somebody. I don't know.
Santa
Anyway.
Claus, you upset with that book? I still can't believe you showed that book. Dude, that ruined it for you.
Yeah,
Santa's not coming
Sarah's
over.
not even here, so she doesn't even know what book you're talking about. Like, Deanna doesn't know what book you're talking about. So
Well,
you're gonna
they
give me in
know.
trouble bringing it up
Jacob
here.
knows, and everybody else knows. Don't bring it up. If you bring it up, I'm closing my eyes. Just looking at it, I can't unsee that now. That was terrible.
It was just a story about a snowblower and a tow truck. I don't know.
Dude, you're on the list. Jacob knows it. Everybody knows you've been naughty. Only Cole for you.
It's just a kid's book about a tow truck and
Yeah,
a
yeah,
snowblower.
yeah. There's the replay link. All right, what's up next?
All right, everybody. I think I don't know if Deanna has a link for. We were supposed to send everybody to another room. I don't know if Deanna has that, but that's the only thing I was told we were doing today was sending people to another room.
Okay.
For another presentation. So if Deanna doesn't have it, I don't have it. So good luck, everybody.
Fuchs, come back. He says, I think I get it. Come back, Fuchs. We're on every day, Moisey.
And we do this every day. We do for the same kind of trades every single day. Hunt for the same
single day. We just talk about the same thing, and we update you, on what we're doing. I really want to get into Vert tomorrow. We didn't have time to cover it today.
And we started covering TSLL down here. Jack was a little worried or concerned maybe. And then when we popped up here and I started showing him the profits, he got on it now and he's on it. And
since October,
this thing just prints money. Just prints money. And we update this pretty much every day. TSLL or Tesla is both one of our favorite stocks, period, because of the premiums it generates. I do have shares
Ooh.
of Tesla. I have shares of TSLL.
Me too.
So
Jacob
yeah,
got 38 cents for the 18 strike price puts on Tinsel.
there you go. So all right, everybody. We'll be back again tomorrow. Can you do it on Apple?
Radio.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
may not have the premium, but you can do it on Apple.
Yep.
You can do it on pretty much anything.
Yeah.
Beta's low at 1.2, but it does have
Yeah.
weekly
There's
options.
better stuff to do it on than Apple. We'll keep showing you. Show up every day. Tell your friends about it. And we'll see you tomorrow for another great Market Masters.
Yep. We'll see everybody tomorrow. Bye for now.